João, thank you for joining us. And for those who are tuning in, thank you for joining TruPoint's Talking Tech for this month. We're going to be talking to one of our favorite UC and contact center providers, Broadvoice. And we have João Camarate from Broadvoice. He's their CTO. But thank you for joining us today.
Hey, John, thank you so much for having me. This is a great opportunity and my pleasure to talk to you.
Great, great. So tell me a little bit about your background. What brings you to the CTO role at Broadvoice?
Yeah, so that's actually, that's a long story. I'm glad we have some time because I would say like 15 years ago, I was running my own contact center. And, to me, in my mind, it actually started there. So I was the owner of a BPO. Your run-of-the-mill BPO. We were doing a lot of, at that time, we were doing a lot of outbound. I went to market, try to find technology. And two things kind of struck me at that point. One was that I did not had enough money to actually buy a contact center platform at that point. So it really disappointed me. I'm going to be honest. And the other one was that every solution that I saw that I looked into, they were, heavy on the IT focus. And, at that point, I didn't really had an IT staff. And so I was thinking like, not only don't have the money, even if I did have the money, I don't have a staff to run this. And so I try to piece some things together with recurring to open source. And, we got it to work within our contact center. Took a couple of months. I'm, making it brief, but it took, I would say like 6 to 9 months, piecing it all together, understanding what voice over IP was, what SIP was, and then, the upper layers, let's say, of contact center management. When we did get it together, we ran it for like 2 years before someone else had a chance to look at it. And the first day someone else looked at it outside of our company, this was a friend of mine. He was running a call center as well. And so he looked at it and he went like, what's this? And I'm like, this is, a platform we put together. It's been very good for us. And right off the bat, he goes, I want to buy it. And that kind of dawned on me. It clicked like, okay, maybe we got something here. So that's how it started for me. Then we, that company eventually led to Go Contact, which was I was a founder of. We did a very nice run in Europe, growing very fast. Eventually, a couple of years back, 5-6 years back, we started selling to other countries, specifically to South America. Where we have a strong presence in Colombia, Peru, Mexico. And then 3 years ago, I was very fortunate meeting Jim and Sam. They were looking for an acquisition. They were looking to partner up with a contact center software platform. And we were lucky enough to be on their radar. So that's how it started for me. My story with Broadvoice, I joined 3 years ago. We merged the companies. I joined in as CTO, and I found this group of people at Broadvoice with a very similar culture to what we've built in the past at Go Contact, and we've been growing strong ever since. And now we're really excited that it's been a couple of months since we launched Go Contact in the US, and now we're really getting to traction. So it's been very exciting so far.
And I remember when they made that acquisition and they first announced it internally to some of the partners, and it's very exciting because I think that was always a gap in the portfolio. So let's talk a little bit about Broadvoice, right? It's not a name that everybody knows out there. It's not the big national name that people are seeing in the Gartner quadrant or whatever. So tell me a little bit about Broadvoice and just the general service offering.
Yeah, so Broadvoice actually goes way back. We've played in the telecommunications space for a very long time. I just mentioned Jim and Sam. They actually come. Jim came from selling DSL, for example, right? So it goes way back. I think the company has been very smart at reinventing itself over time, going from residential to business, and then now to more software play like contact center, unified communications. And so we're playing in the telecommunications space, and our strength, from my perspective, our strength is that, we pride ourselves in having very good customer service. We pride ourselves in being a very strong partner to the channel and to every company that we work with. And we understand that there's competitors out there that are way larger than us. But in the end of the day, there's a nimbleness to being smaller that we can cater to specific opportunities. We can adjust our roadmap, a lot easier to try and tackle a big opportunity. So, in that, what makes us also a very valuable partner in the channel is that we can go in and do stuff that maybe a bigger name can't do. So, over time, we've been trying to understand what are the trends, how we can leverage those trends and be there by our partners and customers to really help their business grow as well.
Yeah, I know that's, we've been a long-term partner of you guys as well. And when we're talking about Broadvoice to our clients, typically we're talking about some of that relationship, some of the partnership mentality you guys have. What, in your words, what are the 4 key differentiators for Broadvoice?
Yeah, so I guess the first one is actually, the passion that we have for our customer service. We've been left and right, winning customer experience awards across the industry. So that's, number one. And I think that also reflects the way we think about customers. It's not just the end user, it's not just the end customer, let's say, but our partners are also in that group as well. Like, we have the same level of commitment, if not even higher, to both customers and partners. So that's effectively like the top 2 things that I would mention. And technology has become very strong at Broadvoice. That's now a close third, where with solutions like Communicator and now Contact, the analytics platform we're going to launch really quickly, all of the investments we're doing in AI, which are really exciting. I think Broadvoice is quickly becoming a force to be reckoned in the technology space as well. Not just presenting your more simple telecommunication solution, but a much more comprehensive platforms that try to solution sell, let's say, and not just be comparable by features, right? And in 4th place, I would definitely put our nimbleness to approach some of the challenges that we face. Broadvoice kind of prides itself of catering to very small customers and very, very large customers. And there has been recently this trend of getting into larger and larger deals and being able to cater to them very quickly, and having solutions not only out of the box, but being able to work with partners as well in the space to be able to deliver those solutions to customers.
Yeah, I know, one of the big things for us has always been able to, communicate with the executive team if we ever have an escalation and do those sorts of things. And that's definitely a capability we have with you guys that we don't have with every single provider. So we certainly appreciate that and your approach towards that. So you mentioned BPOs. Talk to me a little bit about your approach to BPOs, and you guys also have a BPO service that customers can take advantage of as well, correct?
Yeah, so historically we've been very strong in the BPO space, and so if you think about our current contact center seats, I would say like around 65% of them are going to be in a BPO somewhere. We have users now in over 35 countries active with our contact center platform, and a lot of those are under a BPO umbrella, right? One of the things that one of the arguments we use in the BPO space is that if you think about the 10 top BPOs in the world, 5 of them are our active customers. So that's really interesting. We're talking about names like, for example, Atento, Teleperformance, among others. So very large companies that might use us in one country, might not use us in another country. So BPOs these large BPOs are really decentralized in their decision making. But most recently we've set up a partnership with Arena CX where we can actually cater to labor opportunities as well. So there's now let's call it a revolving door, where of course our intent is to be a technology provider to BPOs, to contact centers, to large companies. But a lot of the times these customers also have labor necessities. They need to hire staff And with all of the BPOs that we have in our portfolio, it becomes a two-way street where we can also cater to some of those opportunities, right? We did a launch of that program in the channel recently as well, and it's getting some traction. It's getting exciting, and it's good to see that it opens doors, not only to sell technology, but also to sell labor, and it becomes a much more interesting value proposition for whoever is out there in this space.
Yeah, especially with clients who are using your platform, then if they need some resources, they can potentially, have access to those resources. I think it's a nice
Exactly.
complement or bolt-on solution. Good job with that.
Exactly.
So customer experience obviously is the headline in contact center and UC, right? So what investments are you guys making in customer experience right now?
Oh, this space is, I always like to think that this space is red hot. And since the AI revolution, like a couple of months back, it's been amazing to see how quickly, how fast the space has been evolving. So, we started investments into AI, I would say 5 years ago with the previous generation of AI. In the previous generation of AI, it wasn't anywhere close to what we have today, right? But it already did, part of the work that we're now thinking AI is going to take over. So we started deploying voice bots actually 4 years ago now. We have over 150 active projects, including voice bots, voice automation, basically, right? So that's kind of the first big trend that we're now seeing really pick up steam in the customer experience space, is that because of the ability for this technology to be a lot more conversational, everyone is trying to get into the action, right? There's a number of startups just popping up every week. It's crazy just to keep up. I'm having calls left and right just to keep up with potential partnerships. And our strategy is pretty clear here. We're building an ecosystem. We're kind of executing on this platform play where we're allowing AI to come to our platform and be seamlessly integrated. Whether you want to have a voice bot, whether you want to have something like an agent assist to help you deal with a call, whether you want to have call analytics, after call, have some type of automation analyzing the quality or the tone or the sentiment of that call. We now have solutions across the board, and that's really elevating customer experience to a whole new level, right? One of the things that is really, really striking, John, is that if you look at a call center space, usually what happens is that the best call centers are going to listen to like 3% of their calls for quality purposes, right? Sure. And that's the ones that are really investing into quality, right? With AI now, we have projects where call centers are now listening to 100% of their calls automatically. And then they're focusing on the ones that actually need to be focused on. Because, before AI, you were listening to 3%, but you were randomly choosing those. So you might just miss, right? And now it's like we're listening to 100%. We're asking the AI to classify those calls and just focus on the improvement opportunities, right? And so customer experience as a whole is going up. And a very good example as well is something like Agent Assist, where there's examples out there where the customer is saying something and the AI is in the background already searching for the answer. It pops it up to the agent, and the call flow, let's say, it's that more smoother because what we're seeing basically is you take a 5-6 minutes call and now it's 2 minutes because whenever the customer stops, when the customer completes the question, the answer is already there, and so that is really transforming customer experience. I think it's a really exciting time for this space.
I heard a statistic or a comment that really resonated for me with AI, and it's technology that gives you time, right?
Oh yeah,
and that's in the contact center space, time is everything, right? Average handle time, yes. How much time is spent on the phones, where people are spending their time. So it's not a surprise that we've seen so much AI integration into the customer experience. Um,
Yeah.
the main applications we're seeing with that, you hit on a couple of them. It's the ability to self-serve in a better way, omni-channel self-service. I know you guys have omni-channel on your platform.
Yeah.
Some of the automatic agent scoring, sentiment analysis, et cetera. So really, really exciting.
Yeah, so just to complete, like you're seeing that across not only the contact center, but also surprisingly a lot of smaller companies as well that are not traditionally running a call center. So one of the examples is this, for example, a pizza chain where they have to stop whatever they're doing to take an order, and now they deploy the voice bot over their phone, and this is connected to Beehive, for example, right? So to your UCaaS solution. And also you're enabling even simpler use cases, but they free up. I think your point is spot on, is this is technology that frees up time. And it's really good in the contact center space, but it has so much application across the board. We have a proprietary platform called GoAI that is enabled across CCaaS and UCaaS. And so it really doesn't matter, if you're running a contact center or not. I think it goes back to your call volume, the how standard your type of calls are.
Right.
And when you get to a certain threshold, it really starts paying off. And the savings sometimes are just they're very big. It's really interesting.
What industries do you see being served by GoAI or other AI applications within your customer experience the most, right? Or benefiting the most from it?
Yeah, so the top three industries by far is healthcare, banking, including insurance, and transportation. That's what we've been seeing across the board. We're very strong in healthcare, both on CCaaS and UCaaS. That's a space where we have kind of this more natural fit with their use case. And healthcare has a very the demand for example, appointment scheduling is huge, and that's a very good use case for AI. The demand for example, you want to find out if your exam is ready, you can pick it up. It's also very large, right? And it's not to say that there's not solutions outside of AI. These companies have ran, websites, SMS. There's a number of ways that they've been catering to those options. But we've been around telephones so much that it's really natural for us to pick up the phone, call someone, right? And what's funny is that I think we're coming out of this trend where digital, meaning written form, was getting traction. And with conversational AI, the ability to have very good speech recognition, the ability to have very good text to speech, right? I think voice is going to make a massive comeback, actually, right? Because I don't think anyone had a problem with voice before. I think people just don't like to wait in a queue, right? You always prefer to talk to someone, but you don't want to wait in a queue, right?
Sure.
And so I think it's a lot more natural for us to communicate using voice. And I think AI is going to enable a lot of the voice workflows to come back again.
Yeah, and I would agree with some of that. I think there's always going to be some people who don't want to pick up the phone.
Oh yeah,
I know some of those folks,
for
right?
sure.
So I think the solution here is meeting the customers where they are, right?
Where they
So
are. Exactly.
I don't think there's a one or the other. It's a all in, right? So you've got to have an omni-channel solution in order to have a good customer experience in 2024, right?
Oh,
Got
that's
to be able to
mandatory.
connect to them where they are.
Yeah, that's mandatory. And I think, what's exciting about the current large language models is that they play very nicely across channels.
Right.
Right. And so this is something that customers sometimes get concerned is, we're going to deploy, I don't know, a chatbot. Do I have to redo all of the work? There's always some adjustments. It's not the same thing to communicate over chat or voice, but there is like that more of a knowledge based aspect to it that goes across channels and becomes very actionable.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you guys have a new analytics platform coming out. Tell me a little bit more about what you guys are doing there.
Yeah, this is actually something that we at Broadvoice are very excited about. For the first time ever, we're going to have a platform, an analytics platform that is going to be able to track calls across UCaaS and CCaaS natively. So we've built what we call it Data Studio internally. We actually built this big data platform. So everything is event driven. So you can think about everything that happens in both CCaaS and UCaaS is going to flow through some pipes in real time. It's going to land on a data lake and it's going to be actionable in real time in this analytics layer, right? So what that enables is not only data at scale, a lot of analysis. You of course you're talking about your staple analysis, everything that is reporting across UCaaS and CCaaS. But also a lot of predictive capabilities, and this ability, especially for the types of customers that we have that, might have a distributed workforce, might have a centralized call center. And those two solutions usually live in two different spaces, right? It's really hard to piece like the customer journey end to end. And that was our goal with Data Studio and the analytics play is we want to make sure that our customers, regardless of what platform they're using, where they're using it, it might be a mobile call, it might be a call center call, it doesn't matter. We're going to piece that, information end to end, no matter how many transfers it took to complete the call. You're going to see that information end to end. You're going to have the results coming end to end. So that's very powerful for a large corporation that is looking for that centralized control, right? But it also serves. We're also kind of rolling this out to everyone in our customer base, even very small accounts, because in the end of the day, if you're running a business, if you're taking in calls, there's there's a number of things that are very actionable, like did anyone call me, did I miss that call, maybe I'm missing business, can I call back, right? So there's a number of analytics information that you can get out of this platform. So this is now in production. Actually, we have the first large customer using it. It's a healthcare company. It's using it in this end-to-end capability with the functionality that we call call journey. And we're rolling out to a couple of more customers end of this month. And then we're getting ready for general availability in the next 2 months. So this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We've seen it in action a little bit. Pretty exciting. I think it's going to be a differentiator for you as well, because not everyone has that call journey end-to-end, cradle-to-grave reporting that customers, frankly, are demanding.
Yes.
So definitely a differentiator. Like the direction you guys are going there.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about, you shared a little on the analytics. Tell me about other things that are on the roadmap. What's upcoming for you?
Okay, so we're trying to become very focused in the customer experience space and the type of customer that can take advantage of both of our UCaaS and CCaaS solution, right? That's something that with the merger of Broadvoice and GoContact 3 years ago, it became very clear for us that that's the space we want to play in, right? And on the flip side, we do have a lot of traction in customers that are just looking for UCaaS, and we do have a lot of traction in customers that are just looking for CCaaS in the BPO space as well. So we continue to cater to those. One trend that goes across them all is AI. So that's where we're really doubling down. We're launching call analytics, which is a functionality that is going to enable you to post call, do a very deep analysis on any call recording that you might have in the system. So that's coming in shortly. We're basically wrapping up a number of integrations with voice bot providers. Although we do have our Go AI solution, which is now available in the US as well. We feel like the ecosystem is moving so fast that we need to have partners in this space as well. So we're enabling that ecosystem. And AI across the board is our number one bet right now, right? And if I had to go number two, is definitely data. We're now in the just the early stages of rolling out the analytics platform. is coming out next month. So that's our number 2 bet, let's say, into the future. And these 2 points, AI and data, I think they're gonna be the defining trend in the next 2 years. They play well together, and they complement each other, right? And we're looking to give that very solid experience of, across AI and data. As the platform company, that's the way we see ourselves, a telecom platform company. We also have, significant efforts always aimed at the core of our platforms, making sure they're robust, making sure they're stable, making sure they're very secure. And that's a lot of our investment goes into there. We're trying to craft very well thought out customer experience within the platform itself. And so, we are a company that we like to keep our investments very focused. Let's put it that way. And we prefer to have a big bet in a big trend, something like AI and data, than to kind of spread ourselves thin across multiple initiatives. And so we've become over time known for being very reliable, being there where the customers are trying to meet us as well, in terms of functionality. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
Yeah, reliable, flexible, competitive. I think those are 3 keys here for the Broadvoice story.
Yeah, for sure.
Really appreciate you taking the time with us today, João. Great conversation. Always good to talk to really smart people. So sincerely appreciate it.
John, thank you so much. It was my pleasure. Whenever you have the time, we'll definitely catch up again. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope to see you soon.